紡ぎましょう。新しい絆を。召喚魔法との出会い。これもまた成果のお導きです。
Hello, I'm Silveroxus, and this week is the Final Fantasy IV collaboration event with Octopath Traveler COTC. This unit's review is going to be Ophilia EX, Rydia's chosen summoner. And she did get some buffs that makes her a little bit better, but in my opinion, not quite enough to make her the magic DPS we really wanted. So what she does overall, she is a scholar. Her role is a magic DPS / shield shaver. Her special abilities is that she summons Eidolons from Final Fantasy for her skills. Her latent power and ultimate summons can bypass magic dodge / block effects on enemies. Also, her unique buff resets her latent power cooldown to 0. Her preferred weapons are Fortune Tomes for magic attack, Cosmic for mix and magic attack and damage cap. Preferred accessories would be magic attack and damage cap all the way. Her passive skills and latent power. Her 1-star passive is at full HP, self 30% magic attack up, and 30% SP cost reduction. This was buffed from 15% to 30%, so she's basically self-capped at 30% magic attack up, and 30 out of 50% if you have Isla along, which if you have Isla, you should have Isla there. Her 3-star passive is self 30% elemental damage up. 6-star skill evolution grants the ability to crit with magic attacks. That's good because she just has all elemental damage up for all 6 elements, and she can hit 5 of them with skills and exploit dark with 1. So yeah. Her latent power is summon Eidolon. Initial cooldown 3 turns, recharge 6 turns. Changes Ophilia EX's skills to summon either Ifrit, Shiva, or Rama. Ifrit casts Hellfire, a 6-hit AoE fire that ignores dodge and block. Shiva casts Diamond Dust, a 6-hit AoE ice that ignores dodge and block. And Rama casts Judgment Bolt, which is a 6-hit AoE lightning that ignores dodge and block. And remember, the cooldown becomes 0 turns and instantly usable when she has Eidolon's Blessing unique buff active. The only thing I'm unfortunate to report is apparently they did not buff the potencies of her summons, so they are still kind of depressing in power. So moving on to her skills, her base kit, she has a 2-hit single target ice, a 2-hit single target lightning, 3-hit AoEs for fire, ice, and lightning that all have pretty good power. And then moving on to, her 3-star skill is an actual summon. That is a 3-hit AoE wind that ignores dodge and block effects, and also heals the front row. Her 4-star skill is a 4-hit single target fire that exploits light. 5-star all allies heal plus 15% physical defense up for 2 to 5 turns, and a 20% chance for each ally to get an auto-revive buff that'll revive them with 50% of their max HP. And then she has Meteor, a 6-hit random target light that at max boost becomes 8 hits instead. This skill was buffed to gain 2 extra hits at max boost. Her TP skill is a 2-hit AoE neutral attack that ignores dodge and block effects, always reduces shield points, and this skill was buffed to gain an additional 100,000 damage cap up. It's important to note that this 2-hit AoE neutral is still considered a magic attack, so magic attack up, her elemental damage up, and any kind of magic defense down and elemental resistance down buffs and debuffs will all affect this skill as well. So even though it's only 2 hits, if you want to do like damage cap through shield and reduce shield points, it's not that hard to do. So it is not terrible to have. So moving on to her EX skill and ultimate technique. Her EX skill now has 3 total uses, and it's always unlocked. It's Summon Dragon for Radiant Breath, and it's a 1-hit AoE light that ignores dodge and block effects, and grant herself Eidolon's Blessing for 2 turns, and raise the damage cap for the skill by 50,000. The damage cap for the skill was added as a buff, as well as the 3rd use and no condition. Basically, you use this to give herself her Eidolon's Blessing, so you can use this, then do a 6-hit AoE. Use this, do a 6-hit AoE back and forth, so she can shave shields pretty quickly. Her ultimate technique is a damage class ultimate, 4 BP to full charge from level 8, sorry. And it is called Summon Bahamut to cast Mega Flare. And it's a 6-hit AoE light that ignores dodge and block effects, exploiting fire, ice, lightning, wind, and dark at 6 times 50 power, and grants self-Eidolon's Blessing for 2 turns. This scales to 6 times 60 power at ultimate level 10 and gives 3 uses per battle, not just 2. For ultimate 10 priority, I would say go for her A4 first. If you're not going to get enough copies to reach A4, then I would ult 10 her after A1. So moving on to her awakenings and A4 accessory, A1 is a magic DPS. She is a magic DPS with not the best potency. She needs A1 to be a lot better, so I'd strongly consider A1ing her first for that extra base magic attack. A2 is helpful but not mandatory, as you can bring the skills you need still without needing A2. A3 is Squallers are squishy, so HP is good. Moving on to her A4 accessory, it's called Rydia's Hair Ornament. It gives 100 SP and 40 magic attack. At the start of battle, front row allies gain 2 stacks of dodge magic attacks and 2 stacks of dodge physical attacks. This A4 accessory, I would say, is an A tier A4. It is an extremely solid A4 that opens the door to many insane speed clear strategies, as you can forego needing to set up healing regen using these dodge stacks to survive and just kill bosses. That alone makes it A tier. However, that being said, I do not recommend most accounts chase this accessory as it is never mandatory in the long run. It's just very nice to have for extra defensive utility. For an optimal skill loadout, I'd say you want to take a 3-hit AoE of the best element for a fight. Skill 2, I would take her 6 to 8-hit light for nuking if they're weak to light. For skill 3, I would take her TP Mega Nuke with 100k cap up. This can hit extremely hard, even through shields. As it's still magic based, it gets stronger from magic attack up and all such elemental damage up. And then for skill 4, I would take the all allies heal plus physical defense up, plus 20% chance to grant auto revive, because this gives you a little extra defensive utility. You might get auto revive out of it if it's a dangerous fight. And it just gives you something to do if they're like if they're not weak to light for nuking, so you have to use their ultimate to nuke or something like that. So for unit synergy, Oswald, when hitting fire, ice, lightning, getting follow-up attacks is very helpful for more damage. Isla, Scholar Support Extraordinaire, plus 50% passive magic attack extension, very important, plus awesome Scholar buffs and ult. Signa for Signa things, but even more so as her countdown elemental resistance down applies to her TP skill as well as every element she can hit. Solon / Renew EX future release. Ophilia EX needs the potency up ult. Renew EX is basically Solon again with some differences. Namely, her ultimate also gives light damage up, which makes Ophilia EX hit even harder with her ultimate or her 8-hit meteor skill. Agnea is a great support for magic with all elemental damage up active skills, active magic attack cap up to 50%, damage cap and elemental resistance down to stack from Signa. Shauna, regen, HP up, damage cap, BP regen, SP stock, she has it all. Premex works for a more offensive version of this without the defensive stuff in BP because you have the ultimate magic attack up ultimate. Kilns is an excellent tank to keep the heat off her, debuffs and great support ult. Nefty, another great support option with all damage up and ult buffs. So to pull or not to pull plus Howard Raider. Ophilia EX was buffed, but in my opinion not quite enough. Capping self passive magic attack helps as well as the 2 extra hits on her light nuke, but her idol and summons are still far too weak potency wise. The damage cap isn't for all her skills, just her TP and EX, which are low hit count. She is definitely better and is extremely fun to use with amazing animations. Trust me, they are so good. That being said, she is definitely a tier better than before and makes the banners slightly better if chasing Sazantos EX. That being said, she is definitely a tier better than before and makes the banner slightly better if chasing Sazantos EX if you hit her on the way. I wouldn't pull specifically for her though unless chasing her speed clear enabling A4. That being said, remember if you love a unit or just love Final Fantasy in general, ignore pull advice and good luck. Tier 4 FTP skip unless you are a die-hard Final Fantasy fan for her specifically. Tier 3 low spin / passes, likely skip unless over 20k rubies. Tier 2 Dolphin, great fun for Magic Hops, worth A0, A1, or even A1 Old 10 at most. And then, like I said, it's for all of these, if you do try to pull it, she is a good prize to get on the way to Sazantos EX, who I think is possibly worth it now. Check out his review for more info. Tier 1 Whale, A4 Old 10, start speed clearing without healing, you've been unleashed. Anyway, for overall rating for her DPS, I'd still say she has the DPS. She can be an S tier DPS. She does have the hit count and decent power. It's just that she's just lacking what she needs to be an SS tier DPS. For support, C tier support, B tier in healing with that one healing skill. That's pretty decent. No tank skills. Overall, I'd rate her as an A-. So, like, she did go up from, I think, for a B tier to an A tier, barely, in my opinion, from the buffs, but it's just not enough to, like, want to chase on a limited collab banner for her specifically. Now, but outside of meta, like I said, she has, like, the best sound and animations in the game. They're so good. The summons are so cool looking. It's so sad how weak they are. Anyway, that can't be helped. They did some. It's better than nothing. Anyway, please like, follow, and subscribe for more Octopath Traveler COTC content. Please let me know how you did. I am going to be pulling for Final Fantasy units myself, so I will be streaming them when they release on Thursday evening, so please check that out if you'd like to. Otherwise, please let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see, and otherwise have a wonderful rest of your day.